Every piece of clay that you use for whether it's clay work or potter's wheel, anything that's going to go through the kiln needs to be wedged first. The wedging process is to mix different types of clay, wetter clay, harder clay, or stiffer clay. It's also very important that you remove the air pockets. The other thing is that when you're wedging, the plasticity improves, which means the workability of it. So we want to make sure that we do all of these things. We're going to start with some new clay, which is in the blocks. You're going to slice it up using your cutoff wire, and you just want a thin slab. You're also going to mix it with some nice, gushy used clay. And this will also improve your plasticity. You got to make sandwiches with it, and then you weigh it. You want it to weigh about 2 pounds. So if you have a little extra, you can cut it off and save that for later. Once you have the right amount of clay, then you're ready to begin wedging the clay. You're going to push the clay with both of your hands. And you want to stand so you're kind of like you're running, so that you're really stable and you're not leaning into everything with just your back. You're going to take your hands and put them like a tent. Because I'm right-handed, my left hand is going to do most of the work while my right hand guides it. My left hand will get on top of that clay with the right hand right beside it, push it down through the clay and out. I roll it back, I pivot it slightly to the left, and I put my hands back on top like a tent. Down and out, roll back, pivot up, hands on top. Down and out, roll back, pivot up, hands on top. Down and out, roll back, pivot up, hands on top. You keep repeating this motion until the clays are mixed together, making a good consistency, and so that the clay is plastic and has no air pockets in it. It's very important to remove the air pockets, that the clay always roll into itself. If you flatten and fold, you'll be creating air pockets, and that's not good. That's one of our objectives, is to remove those air pockets, so we do not want to create any more. You can see as you do this, you can get faster at it, and the clay will always walk towards your non-dominant hand, in my case, my left hand. It should also form the shape of a conch shell. This is where the hermit crab lives, or you can hear the ocean in the shell. This is the tip, and this is where you see the spiral. The spiral should always be under your dominant hand. That hand is just pushing enough to help out the other hand, but it's mostly the guide, and it stays on the spiral. It's more about lots of little pushes than pushing with all of your energy. Once you've done this a while and you can feel the clay starting to homogenize, become all like one mass, blend together, you can feel it get more dense. Then you can test it by slicing it the longest way possible with a cutoff wire. Slice through, take a look. If you don't have any air pockets and your clay all looks very consistent, then you're doing a good job. Take a flat side to a rounded side, place them back together, and rework the clay. If you found no air pockets at all, then once you get back into your conch shell, you can slap it into a ball. This is the best way to keep your clay, so that no part of your clay dries out while other parts stay too wet. If you had trouble or found air pockets when you sliced it, keep wedging and ask for help as needed. All of your clay needs to be wedged and kept in a plastic bag with no air in it, so it stays nice and moist and ready for you to work for your next class.